record so I can save this video. How are you doing? And hi there.
I'm good. Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm just gonna
Good.
send a couple of messages and make sure everybody can get on here. Come on. My calendar. Okay, let's see if I can get everybody on here. At least a few people to join us. I'm going to record this and be able to share it. I know there were a couple people that wanted to come on. There's some approvals. There we go. And yeah. See what else. Okay, let me do. Okay, I need to go to this one. Veronica. Just group. No. I was working on my notes so that I made sure I had enough notes for this, and they're going to take far longer than the time I have. So I'm going to wing it through part of this. Let's see, here's somebody coming on. Let's see. Let's see.
Ready?
VIP group has link. There we go. Okay. Hi, Cody.
Hi, Laura. Long time no see.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got a couple. Courtney, are you still there too? Let's see.
Yeah.
Okay, there. I've got everybody. Got Cody, got Courtney, and then maybe some more people will join us. I'll let a bunch of people know, and we'll see. They'll pop in as they pop in. Okay. Webinar. Live now. Join through link on my VIP group. Okay. Anybody else asking to get on? I think that's it. Somebody's busy, but there's some people coming. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start. People will join as they join. Thanks for being with us today, ladies.
Yeah.
And so as I go through this, and I was just telling Courtney that there's so much to this. I was starting to fill in a bunch of notes. I had a basic outline. I was starting to fill in a bunch of notes with it and everything. But it's going to take far more time than I have to fill it all in. So part of this is going to be winging it. And also, I like doing these live webinars because that way we can interact with one another and other people can share their thoughts and their questions. And it really makes it more rich of discussion to have. So what we have is increasing one's vibrational frequency. So the first thing I want to share about this is that just by increasing your vibrational frequency, it gives a layer of energetic protection. A lot of people are asking me all the time, how can I protect my energy? And I've done videos on it and so forth. And this is always one of the things that I talk about as one of the things to do, because when your vibration goes up, you're naturally going to deflect anybody who doesn't match your vibration. It naturally occurs because energy matches energy. So if somebody comes into your field and your energy is up here, theirs is down here, they're not going to feel comfortable. They're going to move on. And the same thing happens with entities, spirits. They're not going to have anything to do with you if you're up there. They're going to want to catch you down here somewhere and keep pulling you down. So it's a really amazing way to naturally protect your energy. That being said, let's talk a little bit more about raising your frequency. So what is vibrational frequency? There is a scientific definition on this, and I've read the scientific definition, and it's stated all over the place. You can look it up everywhere. It's something that scientists understand. You know, it's in these scientific terms, and I'm sure that the people on the shows, you know, what's that show with all the guys in it where they're all scientists and they hang out on the couch and play games together and everyone's really, really genius? You know, that show.
Big Bang.
What's
Big
that?
Bang. Is it the Big Bang Theory?
Yes, the Big Bang Theory. I think about them when I read the definition on what vibrational frequency is. It's like Sheldon would know. You know? He'd be able to explain to you. But I'll tell you in layman's terms, what it is, well, I wish my computer would quit jumping around. Is basically, why is this jumping around? I'm trying to read my notes and it keeps jumping off of what I'm saying. Okay. What it is oh, it jumped again. Would you quit jumping? Okay. There has to be some magic to this. Okay. I don't care that my subscription's canceled. Just let me read my notes. Okay. Everything is moving all of the time, even when it appears solid and still. Everything's a bunch of little particles, and they're always moving all the time, even the chairs, the tables, everything. And so the speed at which that movement is occurring is the vibrational frequency. That's the most layman's terms that I can put it in. So the vibrational frequency of humans will increase as your spirituality opens up, as you become more aware, more in tune with yourself. And there have been measurements of plant life's frequency, and it shows up like patterns, like mandalas. You know, it's really beautiful when they measure the frequency of life, especially plant life, which is really, really high, really, really up there, which is why one of the things I'll talk about later in this webinar, that's a way to raise your frequency, is get with nature. It's always going to do it because your frequency will have to match that of nature when you're out in it. So when you raise your vibrational frequency, you increase how in tune you are with yourself. You become more aware. You become okay with your life and with everything around you. You realize that you are able to release things that don't serve you and even start to be protected from those things that don't serve you naturally because of how I explained that works already. And there are lots of benefits to this. You feel calmer. You feel a sense of real joy, a sense of peace. Your physical body will become healthier naturally. You will feel like you know yourself more. You will feel good with who you are. And emotions automatically will affect frequency. So whether your emotions are ones that make you feel down or lower, you can guarantee that your frequency is going to be down or lower. It can be a habit to allow those feelings to be a part of us. But when we are trying to raise our frequency, paying attention to what is going on with us emotionally can show us what's going on through our thought patterns and then help us to pinpoint where we need to make a shift. And shifting our thought patterns automatically will shift our emotions, and that will automatically shift our frequency. So we're going to get into that too. So the first thing is with tracking your mood. This is self-assessing. Where's everything at with me? How can I identify where things are so I can start raising things? So it moved again. That leads us right into assessing things about ourselves to determine where our frequency is and what we need to shift for it. What mood you are in and what you are feeling is an easy thing to look off right off the bat. Some people feel like they have a hard time even doing that. So if you can't think about what emotion am I having right now, think about what's going on with your body. Are you tight anywhere? Is there a knot? Are you feeling down or low on energy? Those are all indicators that there is a feeling that needs to be shifted for you. And then journaling about what you're feeling is a good place to go next. Journal about, I'm feeling this way in my body. I don't know what it means. I'm not sure what I'm feeling, or I'm feeling sad. I don't know where this came from. I'm feeling sad, but just notice what it is, journal about it. And doing that will help you identify what's going on with you, and you'll start to see patterns. The more you journal about what's going on with you, the more you'll notice patterns that come up. And when you identify those feelings, then you can start to identify the thoughts, especially sometimes the patterns are what help you get there, but sometimes you can identify the thoughts right away. Those feelings will show you what's really going on in your mind. You know, a lot of people, they have their mind just going all the time. They're thinking all these thoughts, everything's happening in their head. They feel like they can't control their mind and their thoughts. You can. In fact, it's your mind, it's your brain. You absolutely can control it and what's going on with it. And I help teach people how to do that. But if you're feeling bad, then think, well, are my thoughts doing that? What am I really been thinking about? Oh, yeah, I've kind of been just having memories of when somebody did this to me, and that made me feel really sad. So then once you identify that you're having this thought, you can choose to replace it. You can simply start thinking about something else. And if you don't know what to think about, or you can't figure out how to do that, ask yourself how you can do that. When you ask yourself certain questions, your brain will come up with the answers. Your brain works that way. It's really cool. It's like part of how your brain is designed. So if you say, well, what could I think about that would make me feel happy? Your brain will give you an answer. You know, maybe it's running to the ice cream truck when you were a kid, whatever it is, but your brain will come up with an idea of something to think about that will make you feel happy. And then when you start thinking about that, you'll start feeling happier. Your vibration goes up naturally. Now, recognizing some low frequency indicators. So when you are noticing your negative emotions, and then you notice that feeling you're having in your emotions, in your body, and leading into the body, you'll start to develop physical symptoms. So when people are having negative emotions all the time, you know, you've seen people, they're just always in a negative place. They just want to feel bad all the time, and they're always there and they're always complaining. Have you noticed that they also have a lot of illnesses, a lot of aches, a lot of pains, a lot of complaints that they're dealing with? Things are nagging them all the time in their body. So that's what happens. Everything manifests. We're all connected. Spiritual, mental, physical, it's all connected. So if you're having all of this focus in your mind and in your emotions on things that bring you down, your body's going to follow, and it's going to manifest. It's going to show up like constant fatigue. It's going to show up like pain. It's going to show up like illness, many things that you don't want to be experiencing. So it's really important to get a hold of that and identify, wait, what's going on? What am I thinking? What am I feeling? Brain, help me. Tell me how I can shift this. What can I think about so that I can shift this? So here are some things to help you raise your vibrational frequency. One of those things is gratitude. Gratitude automatically makes your brain start thinking about positive things, makes your brain start thinking about what makes you happy, what makes you delighted, what makes you feel really good with people and with yourself and with the world around you. So gratitude journals are a great way to start to make that shift and practice that gratitude. Some people just really don't like writing. And if you don't like writing, a good thing to do is when you're driving in the car somewhere, go on a gratitude rampage and just start, I'm really grateful this car's working right now. Well, I'm grateful I have a job I'm headed to right now. I'm grateful my boss smiled at me yesterday. He never smiles at anybody. Well, I'm grateful that guy just waited for me to go so that I could go. And it's interesting how things go like that. Have you ever noticed when you get up from out of bed in the morning and it's like, I stepped out on the wrong side of the bed this morning. Everything just goes wrong. You drop your coffee, you break your favorite cup, all these things happen. The same kind of snowball things happen in a positive way too. So if you start your day on this gratitude rampage, you're going to have a positive snowball instead of a negative snowball. It'll happen the same exact way. You've just started your frequency going up like this instead of down like this. And so writing things down, talking about them to yourself, or you can actually have a practice like I do, where there's a couple of different types of gratitude journals, different times a day. And you're writing about it with a different type of focus a couple of different times a day. That's a good way to really work that muscle in different ways. And when you do something like that for 21 days, it will start a routine for you. Your body will start to feel like it's in a regular routine. And doing that for 60 days makes it an unconscious habit. So anything you want to create as a habit, do it for a full 60 days. It becomes an unconscious habit. Real easy to do because you're not even hardly thinking about it. Positive affirmations is another thing you can do to shift your vibrational frequency. Gratitude can kind of naturally lead there, but telling yourself affirmations, telling yourself positive things, stand in the mirror and tell them to yourself. Tell them to yourself while you're getting ready for work, whatever it is. But just decide on some things that you want to believe. You want to tell yourself on a regular basis. You want to be true. I'm a good person. I'm really good at this. I'm a magnet for this. Whatever it is in your life that you want to create, that you want to be, that you want to believe, the more that you tell yourself these things, the more your brain will start to believe it. And the more your brain believes it, the more your body will believe it. Your body listens to you. Everything you tell it, your body listens to you. So tell it everything you want to tell it. It's going to listen. And then as you're telling yourself these positive things, your frequency has no place to go but up. Now, the visualization techniques are also super powerful and effective at getting your vibration to go up. You can use visualization all over the place in your life. If you want to have a good day that day, start your day by closing your eyes with your feet grounded on the ground, taking some nice deep breaths, and then just picturing yourself going through your day, having an amazing day. Picture that car waiting for you to go by. Picture somebody waving and smiling at you. Picture your boss coming in and telling you just how much he appreciates you. All of the things you'd like to experience. Picture that. When you do that, you've just raised your frequency up. The day has to match you then. Things have to match you then. So you've already set yourself up for a good day. There's a lot of athletes that use visualization techniques in order to play a good game. Like a basketball player I read about, he would use the visualization technique before every game, a whole lot more than he would actually physically practice. He would sit there and visualize himself making that shot over and over and over. And he could do it with his eyes closed because he'd done it so much in his mind. And that's what we know is real, is what's going on in your mind, that he could just make the shot. So you can do that anywhere. You can do that if you have an interview coming up. You can do that for a test coming up. You can do that just to start your day like I talked about. And now I'm going to talk a little bit about triggers and traumas and forgiveness, because as you go through that, you can release things that are blocks. Anytime there's a block inside of you, it will block that frequency. A block blocks movement, right? Frequency, vibration, that's movement. So if there's a block there, that movement has to slow down. It's not going anywhere. So you move the block, that frequency flows, it goes up. So one way to start to identify what you need to work through is noticing what triggers come up for you. And I talk about this a lot, so I'm going to be brief because I've had a lot of videos on this. But first, acknowledge what you're feeling in the moment. Notice that it feels like a trigger. And so that's the first thing to do. Notice it, acknowledge it, feel it, let yourself feel it. Don't go and have a cigarette or do whatever a lot of people do to just shove that thing down. Let yourself experience the feeling of it. That's important. And then allow your mind to go back. Allow your mind to go back in time to when you felt that way before, and the time before that, and the time before that. See if you can go back as far as you can remember to when you first felt that specific feeling that you're having. Oh, I felt this way when he said this to me right after my dad did this. Just go back to that moment. Looking at it, it no longer has the same hold over you. Just by looking at it, acknowledging it, looking it in the face, that hold will let go. It's not going to trigger you the same way because you've seen it now. And then releasing traumas. Traumas are a tricky thing, and there's a whole lot of different types and levels of traumas that people deal with, and that's something that I work with people on. And there's a lot of different modalities and techniques that I use to work people through them. And trigger traumas can be like an onion to peel. There can be so many different layers to get all the way down through something. And they can hold a very heavy weight on your frequency. So releasing them and going through what you need to do to release them will make you feel lighter, because your frequency literally is when you let go of them. And then practicing forgiveness is really the final stage of going through this trauma work. And to forgive releases you. It's always something that's going to release you, free you. It'll lift a weight off of you like you can't even imagine. And I've found very often that the most difficult one to forgive is yourself. It can be very hard to forgive other people that hurt you bad, but forgiving yourself is tough. So I can help people work through that. And you can mute that. Yeah, there you go. So physical well-being is one place that's really important. Remember how I talked about how we're all tied together? Spirit, mind, body, it's all tied together. So taking care of your nutrition is super important. Eating as clean as you possibly can. Eating whole foods, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, things that come out of the ground. Even making sure if you eat meat, that your meat is clean, that it's like raised without chemicals, that everything that you're eating is natural and whole and pure and clean, and not all of the processed chemicals and garbage that you find in the stores. And I'll tell you, if you're in this country, eating things that the FDA says is okay doesn't mean it is. In fact, very likely it's not. There's so many things in this country that are illegal everywhere else because they're so bad for you. Getting lots of water in your body, super important. Our bodies are mostly water. I've found out that there's a lot of people that still don't know this, but yes, our bodies are mostly water. All of the cells inside of your body cannot work or do their proper function without hydration. So every single bit of you needs to be hydrated all the time. I say as Cody drinks her water. But always keep yourself hydrated. When your physical well-being is good and optimal, then your vibration will have to increase. Exercise, movement, very important. And there's lots of different types of exercise. It doesn't have to be what you think exercise is, something hard, something horrible. In fact, I highly recommend doing any type of movement that makes you feel good. Like you feel good in your body doing it. You feel awesome. Something makes you feel good in your mind. So if you feel good doing yoga, do that. If it's walking, do that. If it's running, if it's lifting weights, if it's dancing around your house in your underwear, do that. Whatever it is that makes you just feel good. And I'll tell you, especially if you are a woman, if you are a woman and you are trying to do an exercise that doesn't feel good, that just feels like stress, your body's going to overproduce cortisol. And so then you're going to probably put on weight and have, adrenals that are overworked. It's going to stress your body out. to try to do things that don't feel good in your body. There's a certain type of stress that's healthy, like if you're lifting a weight and it's heavy and you haven't done that weight yet. But if it makes you feel happy to do that, to get that weight up, that's good. So that's a good stress. But if it's making you feel like, God, this is awful, I don't like this, then don't do that. Do a different type of exercise. Try Pilates, try anything else. But that's super important, especially if you're a female. So then sleep hygiene. Sleep is so important. There are so many people on this planet, especially in this country and in other countries similar to ours, that are busy all the time, where people are working, that don't get enough sleep and they don't make it a priority. They feel like everything else is a priority. Their kids are priority. Their, kids are important. That's true. Their work, their jobs, their business, whatever it is. You have to try to find a way to make getting enough rest a priority. Because when you're not getting enough rest, your body's not going to function right. There are going to be energetic blocks. And what do energetic blocks do? Block up your frequency, lower your frequency. It'll automatically happen. Things won't flow the way that they're supposed to. So get creative. Get people that can help you find different ideas on how you can be creative about.
I didn't realize that was going to hurt. Sorry.
What the hell are you thinking?
I wasn't thinking anything. I was just playing around. Wasn't trying to
That
hurt.
hurts.
Wasn't trying to hurt you.
You
And
were.
No, I wasn't
Okay,
trying
good.
to hurt you.
Could mute for now. That would be great. Just thank you. That's awesome. Okay. So sleep is a priority, and some tips for improving sleep quality. So sleep quality is a thing. If you're getting good quality sleep, then you don't necessarily need as much of it. And there are a lot of different things that can improve people's sleep quality. Some people choose THC, some people choose CBD, some people choose like different white noise sounds or nighttime cricket sounds or ocean sounds. There's lots of different sounds that can help with your sleep, frequency sounds. And different yoga movements, different stretches can help with your quality of sleep if you do them at night before you go to bed. There are meditations that can be helpful for getting that sleep. And I have found also that limiting the light, like bright light that you get for the last hour or two of the night before you go to bed is huge. Because when you're seeing a bunch of bright light, your brain is awake. It's awake. So then when you go lay down, it's going to take a while to go to sleep. You're not going to get as good of a sleep. So turn the lights down in the evening and let yourself not be exposed to so much bright light before you go to sleep. That's a big one. And have a routine, set up a routine for yourself. Like you turn the lights down at a certain time, maybe have a cup of soothing tea, maybe brush your teeth, wash your face, go lay down, play a meditation, play some sounds to help you sleep, whatever it is. Do your gratitude journal at a certain point. Some different things that can help you to feel like, okay, we're shutting down now. It tells your brain, having a routine tells your brain, this is what we're going to do, and we're going to have a great sleep tonight. And so then, of course, there are different spiritual practices that will help your vibration, such as meditation and mindfulness. Huge. There are different things that beginners can do whenever they have never done meditation and they're new to it and they don't know how to start. You can watch guided meditations on YouTube. You can just sit and breathe and feel your breath going in and out of your body. Let your mind do whatever it's going to do. Start to watch it like you're observing, like you're an observer of where your thoughts are going and what they're doing. And then when you feel like you've drifted too far, bring yourself back, use an anchor. That anchor can be your breath, just the feeling of your breath. That anchor might be a candle flame, or it might be a tree that you're watching. It might be somebody that you love sitting next to you. You could put your hand on them. But whatever your anchor is for you, find an anchor. Let your thoughts do what they're going to do. Feel your breath. And then it's always good to journal before and after. And if you don't feel like journaling, take mental note of what it is that you felt before, what you're feeling after, and take mental note of how you're feeling every day as you're using meditation as a daily practice. And I promise you, after 21 days, you'll find huge shifts have happened in your life. And if you're wanting to learn some different types of meditation, we're starting a class here at the building. It's going to be every Wednesday night, starting next week, Wednesday at 7 p.m. We're going to have another healer come in here, and she's going to teach all kinds of different types of meditation to us. And it's going to be great fun. It's going to be donation based. A suggested donation is $10, but it's completely up to you what you would like to donate when you come to the class. But it's going to be great. And breath work and energy clearing are very, very helpful. Breath is life. Breath is the bridge. Whenever I'm doing healings with people, I always encourage and guide them through breath, because breath will always move the energy through your body. Anything that might be held up, stuck, blocked inside of your body, breath is going to help you move it through you. And if you're moving things through and out of you, you will not have anything stuck. And therefore, your frequency will be higher and freer without anything in the way. Blocks bring down frequency immediately, because why? Things can't move if there's something blocked, something in the way. So automatically breathing those through you will move those blocks and your frequency will go up. Connecting with nature. I talked about that already. Grounding techniques. Anytime you get grounded with nature, anytime you go outside and put your feet on the ground, anytime you do something that's connected to nature in some way, it will ground you. You can take a salt bath, it will ground you. You can drink green tea, it will ground you. You can simply close your eyes and imagine there are roots coming out of your feet, going deep into the core of the earth, and just feel that connection to Mother Earth, and that will ground you. But grounding will connect you to the nature, which is all clear, all natural, perfect vibration. Through that connection, your energy will naturally start to match. So it's always a good idea to get in nature and to ground. Okay. Decluttering and organizing your space. Whenever there's clutter in your physical environment, that's like a block. Your mind, your eyes are going to see blocks because of all the clutter, the space being blocked up like that. So anytime you can find a way to clear and declutter, your mind's going to recognize it, your body's going to feel it, and that's going to naturally help your frequency. Bring nature in your house. Bring some plants inside. Bring a little waterfall inside. That's going to connect you to that, which we already talked about how that helps your frequency. Utilizing crystals, frequency sounds, scents that you are connected to will help to enhance your energy and therefore raise frequency. Connect with other people that have the higher frequency. Energy matches energy. So when you befriend people who are growing themselves, who are wanting better for themselves, who are already kind of at a place where they have a beautiful high frequency, be around those people, spend time around those people. Notice who you're spending time with right now. Are there people around you that seem to drag you down, that make you feel down, that kind of lower that for you? Maybe spend less time with them. I'm not saying you have to cut people out, but maybe just shift your energy, your time, your attention to those with the higher frequency and that are on a similar path to you with that. So now practices for consistency in keeping your frequency up. If you can put something into a daily practice, that's going to be so helpful, because it can be natural to go down old patterns, even if you have been out of them for a while. Something about you can remember, and if you don't think about it too much, you can wind up down an old path. So setting up, like I talked about, a nightly routine, also setting up a morning routine, having gratitude journaling, affirmations, a meditation practice, some kind of physical movement in your day, every day, is going to help that frequency to continue to be up. being mindful of everything you eat, not just making sure it's healthy like we talked about already, but really be mindful of it. Like eat with mindfulness. Feel the food going into your body. Feel how it's nourishing your cells. That makes a huge difference. And regular exercise, like we already talked about, reflecting on your day at the end of the night. Some people like to journal at the end of the evening and reflect on, I'll do it as a gratitude journal. I write down all of the things I'm grateful for that happened that day. And sometimes those things happen to teach me something. Sometimes those things happen so that I would overcome an obstacle. You know, it might have been an obstacle. I'm grateful for it. It helped me show me I could overcome that. It helped, if this didn't happen, then this wouldn't happen. So be mindful of your day and reflect on it. And one other thing I would like to point out is setting boundaries. You are trying to raise your frequency. You're trying to better yourself. Set your boundaries, hold your boundaries. Even as a longtime healer, I find that can be a challenge at times, and I need to remind myself. So remind yourself whenever you find yourself slipping, where are my boundaries right now? Where might I need to strengthen or reestablish those so that I am protected in my energy and I'm able to move forward and continue with what I need to do? And I would like to just open up talk now for anybody that has any thoughts or questions on anything that I said.
I would be curious, Laura. I have a friend who she has tried the thing where in the morning she gets up and she'll say positive things. I'm gonna have a great day, and everything's gonna flow well, and all my clients that come in, it's gonna go smooth, and she'll do this in the shower, trying to ground and really try to do this practice to raise her vibration. And she tells me every time she goes to work, it all goes to crap. Like it seems like the opposite of everything she said rolls in. And
Oh,
before
wow.
she knows it, she's like, what is your advice to someone like that? I've tried to help her several times, and I didn't know if you had any thoughts on that type of thing happening, or what would you say to that?
What is her daily routine?
Um, I mean, I'm not her, but as far as I know, she showers every morning, and she tries to meditate. She does do yoga. She's pretty healthy person. She eats very
Yeah.
healthy.
Yeah.
So,
And you
um,
find that she does the affirmations. Has she talked about to you doing affirmations and gratitude every
she
day?
does she does tell me she struggles with gratitude. That's just something that doesn't come naturally for her. She wasn't raised hearing those things, so she's trying to practice that and be better at
Okay.
it.
Okay.
But I was more curious about when we do try to set ourselves up
Yes.
and we have the opposite happen, people get discouraged. What are your advice to?
So for people that get discouraged, I would say just be patient with yourself, because it's a process to shift things for yourself and in your life. It can take years for certain things to shift for some people. I know there have been some things for me as I've gone through my journey in life that took a lot longer than I thought that they would, years sometimes. So just be patient with yourself. Let yourself go through the process. Continue to do everything that you can to keep yourself up there and raise your vibration. And then I would tell them to start laughing at yourself and laugh at life a little bit. You don't need to take everything
That's
so seriously. So getting the laughter going. Laughter is another thing that wasn't even on my agenda here, but I'm so glad you brought that up because it just came out. Laughter is huge for raising vibration. I mean, how amazing do we feel when we're truly honestly laughing at something? And so if they could
absolutely.
find the humor in it and just start laughing at it and then have that kindness to yourself. Okay, another day is another day. And this was pretty entertaining.
Great. That's good, because laughter Laughter does, and I think she does take things a little too seriously sometimes. So that's a good one. Thank you for that.
You're very welcome. Does anybody else have any comments or any questions? Well, thank you so, so much for everybody joining me today. I've greatly appreciated it. And I hope that you got something out of this and that it was beneficial in some way. And I'm going to sign off for now, and I'm going to post this up on the group. And I hope everyone has a wonderful night.
Thank you, Laura.
You're welcome. Thank you.